How y'all doing? Welcome to my new series. It is called Thrift Store, Flea Market, and Yard Sale Finds. This is episode 1. So, let's see what we have found recently. So, the first thing I found, which was interestingly enough the day after she died, I found a CD of Miss Loretta Lynn. This is a live concert album. It's from the LT series. Uh, which is a UK distributed from the UK, made in Germany. Um, got a lot of good songs on it. Of course, Loretta is the king of queen of country. Sorry, and Hank Williams is the king, of course. So now they're up there together. Um, Interestingly enough, on another note, I was actually putting away my other Loretta Lynn CDs the other night, organizing them, literally hours before she died. And then I had a movie that called Patsy and Loretta that arrived on DVD later that day. How ironic is that? Uh, anyway, I love you, Loretta. Say hi to Hank for me up there, and of course, say hi to your best friend Patsy for me too. Uh, let's see. Another thrift store. I got this Buddy Holly 2 CD set. Now, the interesting thing about this is it's got some of his lesser known stuff on here, including a cover version of Mickey and Sylvia's Love is Strange. I didn't even know he sang that. But he does it, of course, in the Buddy Holly style. But it's a great cover version nonetheless. So you can't go wrong with that. You can't. I mean, Buddy Holly is great. Him and Richie Valens and the Big Bopper were taken way too soon. It's February 3rd, 1959 is known as the day the music died. We need to get a movie out of the Big Bopper, folks. It's his turn. We've had the Buddy Holly story about Buddy Holly and La Bamba about Richie Valens. Now it's the Big Bopper's turn to have a movie about his life. I mean, there's plenty there. I mean, the guy predicted that we would be watching music videos at home. He also wrote the song "Running Bear," and him and George Jones performed background vocals on it. He also wrote the song "White Lightning," which he himself recorded, and George Jones recorded just after his friend the Big Bopper died. So there's plenty there to do a feature film. It just needs to be done. Okay. Next thing I got is a season of the Ancient Aliens show, season 4 from History Channel. I'm interested into the paranormal and, well, as you know, ghosts and spirits and hauntings and stuff like that. If you follow my channel, you know that. So, um, this was a logical choice. I got this from my buddy Todd's yard sale that he usually has. Which I also got these. I got the entire series of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for $20 from his yard sale. So yeah, you can't get a better deal than that. Buffy the Vampire Slayer was a great show back in its day. Well, it still is, of course. I'm actually surprised that Buffy the Vampire Slayer has never been issued on Blu-ray. It's kind of weird. The movie has, but the movie's completely different from the show. I'm not saying it's bad, but it's different. So anyway, I got one more thing here. This came from the same thrift store as the Buddy Holly set. This is I love oldies and classic country, and I love all kinds of music really, or at least most of it. Let's see if I can get a shot of that there. The print's kind of small on that, but the only thing about about this one is that most of the songs are originals, but there's a few re-recordings that slipped in there. Okay, a couple sound like they could just be mixed in stereo, because I know stereo sounds different than mono sometimes. Sometimes it sounds completely different. But the one I can say is the most obvious on here is on disc 3 you have Paul Anka, Diana. Okay. I don't even know how you found a re-recording of that, but it's definitely, that one doesn't sound like the original. Which I more or less got this to just complement what I already had, because I have a lot of those Time Life rock and roll era volumes. So I mean, this was just, it was $2.99. So it's whatever. Most of the songs on it are original, so for the few that do sneak in, I normally don't like that, but it is what it is. For what you paid for it, and like I said, I have the originals of most of these. This is just something to complement it, because the remaining ones that I do need for the rock and roll era set are not cheap. They're sometimes $20, $30, $40 each. You see, you had the basic set, which, like 1954 to 55 was Volume 1, and then 1956. So, I got all those up to 1964, and then I found most of the years, except for 54 and 55 and 1964, they had the Still Rockin' subset, so I got those. That took a while. And then I got some of the other ones, like some artists were given their own disc, like the Beach Boys, and Elvis was given two different ones. I got one of the Elvis ones. I got the Everly Brothers one. I got the Teen Idols disc that they did. But some of those are just, they're so high priced that you just can't touch them. Like, okay, Roy Orbison has his own disc from that set. Okay, it's really not. It's not the fact that it's rare as people think it is. So sometimes it goes for 50, $60 just for that one, and it's not worth it. People just think it is. It's really not rare. It's just, I don't know. It's just the way that eBay is if somebody sees something for a certain price and they're like, oh, I can get this for it. It's like, no, you really can't. You have to understand, a lot of times there's eBay sellers that'll create a fake account and they'll fudge the price. So they'll make it look like it's selling, but it's really not. So when you see a sold listing that goes for like hundreds to thousands of dollars and it's only got one bid, that's a red flag. Okay? Do you really believe a Black Diamond Disney VHS of 101 Dalmatians is going to go for $1,000? I don't freaking think so. Okay? I know where there's several of those right now, if that were the case. They're $2 a piece. Okay? So by that logic, if I pick up 5 of them, I could make 10 grand, right? Or 5 to 10 grand, depending on the buyer, right? Those tapes aren't worth it. But just like with the Dukes of Hazzard, okay? A lot of people are selling these General Lee cars for hundreds of dollars, okay? There's a surplus of them. They're not worth that, okay? I went to a flea market a couple years ago. This guy had probably 12 or 13 1/18 scales. Just the 1/18 scales, okay? Then he probably had like 15 or 20 of the 1/24 scales. You think they're rare? If he has that many? Yeah, I get that Warner Brothers stopped making them. But you have to understand how easy it is to make a General Lee. Okay? Back when they started making them in the 80s, they didn't paint the decals on. They were stickers. Okay? That's what they're doing now. So people are just doing their own custom General Lees, or they're selling, like through Cooter's Place, they're selling a charger, then you just add the decals yourself. So it's basically like going back to the old school. So they're technically still making General Lees. But, for those of us that want like a 1/18 scale General Lee, it ruins the market because people are charging more than it's worth. Trust me, there's a lot of them out there. I mean, I get people that... I saw this one guy that was trying to get $75 for an Erdl. One of these that I got right here. An Erdl. General Lee. From 1981. Okay? $75 for that. Okay. I got about 4 of those. They're not rare. And honestly, there was a gold one. I found that out. There was a gold one back in the day that was painted gold. Now, if you get that one, then you have something. But are they worth something? Yeah, of course they are. But are they worth what people are charging for them? No. But that's kind of what I'm getting at here. It's like, if you go to a flea market, yard sale, or whatever, okay? Like, my buddy Todd, he has great prices. I've been buying stuff from him for years. But some of these flea markets you go to, you get people that'll charge top dollar for, something that's like, you could probably get it for $5 at Walmart, and they're charging, $20-$30 for it there, used. It is what it is. But another thing you got to watch out for when it comes to thrift stores, I'm going to warn you this now. Okay, every thrift store is different. Okay, now there's this one that I don't really go to anymore because, well, most of these thrift stores, they get everything donated, right? Okay, so there's this one where I was going to pick up something for somebody. Then I saw the price. It's $150. Okay? For something you get donated. Okay? That's bullshit. I mean, I go to freaking Goodwill, okay? And honestly, Goodwill is not my favorite store anymore. Okay? That store charges $10 for a used movie. For a lot of their used movies. And a lot of those go for less than that new. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? It's like you get everything donated. Now you're gouging the prices like you're, a high-end store or something. It's like, and then the video games, don't even get me started on that. Here's what Goodwill did to me one time, or at least one of the workers did. I picked up a game that I knew I could make a little money off of. Not a lot, but a little. It was a mint copy of Final Fantasy IX. Okay? Had the booklet, case was in good shape, all the discs were in mint condition. Okay? Well, when I got home, that game wasn't in the bag. So, whoever the cashier was that day must have slipped the game behind the counter and kept it without me knowing it. All willingly, I paid for the game. Tell me that's not bullshit. Okay? I always remember that, though. Because I looked everywhere for that game, thinking I might have just misplaced it. Well, nope. The person at the counter was dishonest. Because I remember it was only $2 for that game at the time. This is before they started gouging their prices. But it is what it is. Like I said, not all thrift stores are bad, but Goodwill, at least the ones in this area, I mean, they're getting really bad. I mean, sometimes I have to talk people I'm with out of buying something that's overpriced. Because it's like, no, you could get that cheaper. So it's like, why are you going to spend $10 on something you can get for $2? You know what I mean? I mean, if you want to throw away money, whatever. That's why when me and my friends go thrifting, we're not as enthusiastic anymore about going to Goodwill. So, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. I do have one more find for you. I forgot where I picked this up. Oh, wait, I do have a couple more finds for you. uh, Crocodile Hunter. Yeah, this actually needs to be buffed out before I can watch it. But this one's actually hard enough to find where it's actually worth it. So, the guy was amazing. Uh, the two guys that are on TV now that try to be him, Jack Hanna and Jeff Corwin, they couldn't shine his boots. So it's like, you two guys, just stop. You're not Steve Irwin. You're never going to be Steve Irwin. So just move on. All right. The last thing I got, I don't know if everybody likes this or not, but I got the Essential Michael Jackson from a thrift store. This was actually sealed when I found it. There's a lot of his hits on there. Single versions, I might add, so sometimes a single edit is different. Like, I know the opening door part of Thriller is cut off, but I have the Thriller album, so I ain't too worried about that. As you know, I'm into Halloween. I'm going to do more Halloween videos here. I actually got a request to do a couple of Freddy songs from the Freddy's Greatest Hits album, put together videos for them. I haven't forgotten you if you're watching this. I think you wanted, one of the ones you wanted was Down in the Boiler Room. Okay, I am going to take care of that as soon as I can. I will get the video put together and uploaded. But as I said, this is just episode 1 of flea market, yard sale, and thrift store finds, or whatever you want to call it, and whichever order it goes in, whatever. Same difference, really. There will be another episode next week, simply because I am going to a flea market on Sunday, so that'll be good. um, but definitely check out flea markets and yard sales, thrift stores. I mean, if you buy stuff from Goodwill, just watch what you're buying, because sometimes it ain't worth it. Or sometimes you get something you think is good that ends up being crap. Either way. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I will see you again soon, and I will have more videos for you. And thanks for subscribing.